it just caught up with people in a big way. 22 Hours Again was a very easy to recall title. And again, I mean, one of the big considerations of an author is to figure out is to find a title which people tend to easily relate or remember or recall. So I think I worked backwards over there. And I mean, what title would you suggest, for example, if you read the book? Would you?
That's an interesting question. I don't see any love here, to be honest. In the kind of world that you're talking about. The political canvas for everyone is very obvious to see. But maybe at some stage, in some manners, because the word politics often also, Mr. Prasad, I don't know if you agree with me, we often tend to associate the word politics only with party politics. But I see there's politics everywhere. There's politics in relationships, there's politics in life. So I don't know. It's a very catchy slogan.
There's no politics in television channel.
Both Mr. Prasad and I know each other's strong points and weaknesses very, very well.
But I guess that's what fiction writing is all about. Or are you more surprised at the fact that a BJP MP can fall in love with a communist?
I am. I'll be very honest with you. I have. In fact, it is one of my, if I will call it my favorite paragraph of this book, and Ravi Shankar, you must listen to this. This is on page 97 if you pick it up. This is a conversation that is happening between three people at a coffee shop. Two people at a coffee shop. So it goes something like this. We sat in a restaurant past midnight and into wee hours of a Sunday morning. Both of us were sufficiently drunk to disregard the propriety that we were meant to uphold in public. A weird idea struck me and I wondered aloud how by virtue of personal habits one could tell apart a congressman, a BJP guy and a communist. So at a coffee shop, a congressman is most likely to go for Irish coffee, a BJP guy for lemon tea, and a communist for black tea.
But how right is that?
It is right. That's not correct. Now we know what kind of tea and coffee you like. But the book is full of many such similar examples, and that's why I said it's a book which it's a very easy book to read. It's the kind of book if you're flying out or traveling journey.
The
perfect book.
That's an observation which, I agree with that observation that it's something which I tend to simplify larger issues. But I guess you need to make it relatable for people to relate to, especially the younger crowd. As long as the message gets across, as long as the idea gets across, I think that should be acceptable.
But Ravi Shankar, this question though you must answer. Do you miss? No. I've always wondered. Do you really have a conversation or exchange of ideas with political adversaries? Why not? Does it really take?
I can tell you.
Is there a healthy atmosphere?
I can tell you, I have got some of my best friends who are not BJP, political friends. And I remember I was having a dinner at one of the MP's house, and I can name that. With Anand Sharma and we were having dinner together and talking for each other. And suddenly two people came, hey, is it possible? I said, why not? Then he said, that is the strength of Indian democracy. I think the misconceptions about politicians, I love classical music. I try to find time to attend some good concert, especially with my wife if she's there. If I go, people are surprised that those who are in politics can have an eye for classical music. Now, these myths needs to be broken. And I'm quite happy that you have attempted this and doing. Therefore, I come to one question of mine, if you permit.
Sure.
Why is it that with the freedom movement we had fiction which were dealing with issues of political importance pertaining to films? In the 60s particularly, we had novels relating to leftist movement. Okay. Why is it thereafter, in the last maybe 35, 40 years, political novels were not attempted by writers? And what was so special for you that you made this bold attempt? I really congratulate you for that. See, I guess political novels have always been attempted, but if they are non-fiction, like you said, you have to make it palatable for the masses to take to it.
in the right spirit. And that's somewhere where people have failed. And if you ask me why I attended it, I think politics always fascinates me, because a friend once told me that we trip about politics, we tend to be hateful of politics, but there's more politics in personal relationships than anywhere else. Do you agree with that?
That is one thing I would like to say, that we need to disabuse ourselves about the whole notion of politics. ये हमसे politics करता है. This is the common refrain. You go to academics, you go to a television studio, you go to my profession of law, you go to any cultural society, यहाँ पर politics. I think it is high time, this kind of, I would say, disparaging comment about politics, I rarely find in any other democracy of the world. That is one thing. He is a scheming person. He is a very foxy person. These comments I do hear. In the politics करता है, this is rarely here. I think this is one thing which we need to, maybe you will have to write about it. The second question to him, if you permit me. You have sent a very good message about this book is meant for young people. And if 54% of India today is 35 and below, that is again a very positive, bold message you have sought to convey. How do you feel that with your intellectual endeavor, young people can be persuaded to join politics, enrich the quantum of political activity? How is it possible? Which party they join, I'm not looking at the campaign from a party. Which party they join, they're intelligent enough to take a call on that. But how can young people be persuaded, be encouraged to become a part of active political process?
So it's very important at one level to clean a lot of the which happens with politics. I think one of the reasons why youngsters are dissuaded is because of the common perception which has come down the ages, maybe 30 years, that politics is all about corruption or politics. I think it has to do a lot with the political system also, like I said. Somehow the entire fixation with number, which is something which is the way we adopted to run our country in 1947. I think the entire thing needs to have a rethink. That's one thing. But so far as the youngsters are concerned and persuading them is concerned, I think it's very simple. It's a very simple thing to tell them that every time, I mean, God forbid, 2611 should not happen again. But even if it happens, it's so easy to to criticize, to go to the gateway of India and be a part of that movement where you denounce politicians, but it's more important to be a part of the system and bring in the change you want. I mean, that's what Gandhiji had always maintained, be the change you want to see around you. And if this message can go across, that's the only...
Bhupen, today allow me to ask a question from you, and I think both can join. Very interesting issue you have raised today. There are problems everywhere. But the biggest fraud of corporate India is the custom computers. But no one said the entire computer initiative in the country is full of frauds. There are so many corporate frauds. There are judges who are corrupt. There are many kind of problematic family relationships which becomes almost a slur on human relationship. But we don't condemn it out. Yes, I agree with you. There are limitations, there are corruption. But when we know that this country is only going to be governed